All right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. The State of the Nation discussion starts right now. My guests are with me, Honorable Leo Amudende, Member of Parliament from Bere North. Thanks for making time.
Thank you.
Honorable Dan Manzo, Senator from Makueni, is here. Thank you for making time. And Honorable Jared Okelo, Member of Parliament for Nyando. Thank you for making time. We're still waiting for Honorable Duncan Madenge, Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town. As soon as he comes in, we'll rope him into the discussion. But I'd like to hear from you as well at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Daybreak. Let's start off with the front page of the Standard, and Jared, I'll start with you on this because you're the first one here anyway. Ruto's Panagal, they say, is ODM being repackaged as President William Ruto's 2027 campaign machine?
Well, thank you very much, Trevor, for another invitation to this most gracious television station, The Citizen, and the partnership that you guys have with the political class in general. So I thank you. Allow me firstly to send my condolences to the victims of the chopper crash that happened a few days ago, on Sunday to be specific, in Nandi County. Our colleague, Honorable Johanna Ngeno, perished alongside 5 others. Actually, a man from your constituency was the pilot, George Were. He had his cameraman. There was a teacher on board. He had a team that works in his office and one who serves at the office of the governor. So our condolences go out to the families and our prayers. There was a requiem mass which I attended yesterday alongside many members of parliament, governors, the cabinet, and principal secretaries. So Kenya is mourning. It will be important for the aviation industry, together with the investigative authorities, to get to the bottom of this. This is a man who has been flying for the last 30 years. I want to believe he has been flying both in good weather and in bad weather. And in situations of bad weather, he definitely knows what to do. So we really need to get to the bottom of it. I know investigations are ongoing. We may not want to speculate at this point, otherwise speculation may also injure the investigative processes. But we pray for the families that God will provide the fortitude that they need at this point in time to bear the loss. Now, coming to your question, the Standard has given my sister a very huge coverage today, whether or not ODM will be in partnership with the government of the day, which is the UDA government. If you can remember, on the 7th of March, 2025, following the protests that marked our country, the former Prime Minister, and may his soul rest in peace, reached out to President Ruto to stabilize the nation. And on the 7th of March, they signed an accord that was paving way for certain extraneous issues to be amicably addressed. When that happened, of course, there was need for the country to unite and to be under one purpose. Otherwise, we were basically teetering on the brink of collapse as a country. And therefore, ODM thought it wise, and wise was our Prime Minister, that they needed to bring the country together. And we, since then, have been enjoying peace. We have consistently expressed our desire and our intent to negotiate with political parties of like minds. Today, and stemming from our history, if you were around in the year 2007, ODM is the only political outfit that has single-handedly won an election. Only then, in 2007. Thereafter, we have only seen coalitions across political divides, where political parties of like minds come together to push the agenda of acquisition of power. So that is where we are today. We do not want to run away from history, that no single political outfit at the moment can galvanize the entire nation and run away with power. So we have expressed the intent to negotiate with UDA with the view to working together in 2027.
Yeah.
The intent has already been publicly expressed. There will be processes under which that has to come to fruition. Number one is the National Executive Committee of ODM Party, which has endorsed that idea.
Yeah.
Will have to mandate the party leader to now craft a team that will start the negotiation processes with the president on the other side, or UDA as a political outfit.
Okay.
That team is yet to be crafted.
Yeah.
Of course, it does not just end with the party leader. He still has to present the names to be ratified by National Executive Committee.
Okay.
So we are still 15 months away from the next round of elections,
Yeah.
but I can equivocally say that we are going to be in motion to very quickly negotiate with our partners, UDA.
Okay.
And if that works out,
Yeah.
and I don't see any reason as to why not, we will have presidential candidate, deputy presidential candidates, together with all the elective positions, putting those two political outfits at a vantage position to get the numbers that we require to push the agenda of the new administration that I will be part of.
Yeah, let me bring in Leo Amudende on this. Leo, should UDA cede ground for the deputy president position to ODM?
Well, thanks, Trevor, first for inviting me and having me here. This opportunity is good to share ideas with the people and discuss the state of the nation. Now, first, I'll send my condolences. I've been to Mheshimiwa Ng'eno's home. I also went to the Requiem service yesterday. What happened is really sad, and to the families affected, for the 5, Kenyans, gallant Kenyans who lost their lives, and our colleague, Member of Parliament, I pass my condolences, and I say we have to, at this time, stand with the families in prayer, because we all know as human beings, we have a time here and we don't know. No one knows their time. We can only pray to God that the gaps left. And having been at the Requiem service yesterday, some of the young men, actually from 34, 20, 24, some of them were breadwinners. We really need to pray for these families and stand with them at this difficult time. Coming back to your question about ODM and the position of the deputy president. First, of course, if you remember, UDA had their National Governing Council meeting, which was chaired by the president on 27th of January this year. And we allowed our party, per se, to negotiate with the like-minded parties. And at this point, we are talking about ODM on how we can come together and have a force. Because, you can be opposed to each other at some point, but if your agenda or your minds converge, then you don't have to fight. But then, when such a discussion is in place, it's okay for parties or either parties to have wishes. Everyone has a wish list. Anytime you have a partnership or relationship that is about to be formed. So, but on the side of UDA, we have a deputy president, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, who is performing his duties, who is supporting the president. And like I say, it's okay for ODM to have that wish, but it's good to look at positions that are vacant or wishes that are easier to be granted, because
Are there any vacant positions right now?
I mean, the next government is not yet formed, but we have a party leader and a deputy party leader. We have a president and a deputy president. So ODM have said the only position they are not contesting is that of the president, which we respect. But as we come together, I'm sure ODM's NEC and UDA's appointed committee will have a discussion, but as members, we are insisting that we are behind our deputy president, and he is performing his duties well, and you don't change that which is working. In fact, in his own admission, when the president was meeting aspirants, he actually said, I have a good deputy president who is serving me well, who in fact discusses government agenda, pushes government agenda, and ensures that every corner of this country feels represented in government. Okay. So I would say it is okay as we go into these negotiations. Each party has a wish list, okay. But what is tenable is what now is in question, okay. Because we are behind the deputy president, and we say he is serving well. And if ODM has, that wish, it's good also to justify, because it's not just a position up for grabs. What disqualifies the current deputy president from his position? Yeah. So that we start from a point where each party is objective, and his work, if he is serving well, yeah. Then we look at strengthening the unity, by looking at other ways that ODM can feel well represented, can feel as part of the government, okay. And UDA, we don't feel like you are coming in to destabilize or even take away what we already have, or even change what is already working. Okay. So that's something that the team that will be charged with these negotiations will have to navigate through. Okay,
Senator, will that be the breaking point, first of all? And also, second, is ODM being repackaged as President William Ruto's 2027 campaign machine?
Yes, thank you very much, Trevor, for having me this morning. And I really want also to mourn with the family of Ngeno. I've known him since 2013 when we were both elected to the National Assembly. He was there 2007 and fought very hard, and actually won the election, but was not declared the winner. And later on, that constituency to be split into two, and he's been representing his people very well. In 2017, I had an opportunity to go to his constituency when we were campaigning that time, and I found him very popular. He was also promoting young musicians, young talent. He liked it very much, and his crowds were electric. So I'm really want to say what has happened is very tragic. I also know this pilot very well. I've flown with him once or twice, and I know this pilot to be extremely careful pilot who flies VIPs. So he's unlikely to make a pilot's error. And we really want these investigations to get to the bottom. Let's get to know. They should be scientific. When the law about investigation of aircrafts in Kenya was being made, I say that that cannot be hosted under this ministry. It should be independent. Unfortunately, because of the numbers in the House, we lost on that. And we have not, pilot, crash investigation should be public. We know nothing about the Ogola crash up to today as a public, nothing official released. This has also happened, and we don't want it to happen again, and again, and no explanations at all. There must be proper explanations. Otherwise, coming back to what you have said, I believe from the standards headlines and what is given there is that Honorable Wanga is positioning herself to be the deputy president of William Samoei Ruto. And that's why she's working very hard. And chances are high that what you see being proposed now, from the way politics works, a deal has already been arrived at. Just like the way you saw with the city, that we were doing public participation after the event. You know, once Governor Sakaja had already gone into concessions. And when he came to Parliament, we challenged him, look, these monies have to be put under the counties. The money for Nairobi, because it's our capital, should be specific, budgeted for, and given to the county government of Nairobi, not hosted in national government, because it's not what the constitution perceives on devolution. Now, similarly with the politics, this is what happens. I suspect that the deal is already done. ODM have demanded position number 2, which is currently held by the Honorable Kindiki, they have said that is what we want. Oburu has not minced words. He has said, sana sana hiyo kiti ndio tunataka. And then...
so you think the Honorable Wanga is the one who's going to be the deputy president? Is that what you're saying?
She is proposed, and that's what she's working for. Otherwise, she has no business being in that union. I know there has been negotiations, and ODM, which is a big party, it's a very big political party, much bigger than UDA now. In fact, there's no reason why ODM should not have a presidential candidate. It's much bigger. It is UDA who need ODM. ODM does not need UDA at all. And that's why they have made demands. They have said, we want the number 2 slot. We want the speaker spot. We want the speaker slot. We want the Musalia's slots.
This you're saying from a point of knowledge or a point of speculation?
It's not speculation. It is a part of the negotiation. It's part of the demands which have been made by ODM, and rightly so. I mean, what business does ODM have in this union if it is not going to have number 2, if it is not going to have number 3, which is the speaker, if it's not going to have the prime cabinet? ODM rather form government by itself.
Okay.
It's got enough, enough following to form government by itself. And I hope, the Political Parties Act and what our constitution perceives about politicals. But we are a multi-party democracy. But there seems a lot of politicians want to crush all political parties and we take us back to one-party rule. ODM should be respected, should remain strong, should negotiate tough, and should not be destroyed in these processes. Okay.
Okay, will that be the make or break, the deputy president position? And have you heard of any such deals that Manzo is talking about?
Well, I sit in ODM, Manzo does not, fortunately. We, as a party, have expressed the desire to negotiate with UDA. And when you negotiate, firstly, you must get a formula that is going to guarantee a win. It is not just negotiation for the sake of it. And if, from the research, it will be pointing towards a Ruto non-re-election, then we are going to have a candidate from ODM who will be sellable to the public, because it will serve no purpose entering into a coalition that is not going to make it to galvanize power. Then you are wasting your time. So we will be basing our negotiations on the real circumstances, including polls, reports from...
So you might still field a presidential candidate?
We may still field presidential candidate.
Who might not be William Ruto?
Who may not be William Ruto, but William Ruto will be supporting that candidate. And that is the essence of negotiations. But if we are going to have a candidate who will not be able to defeat the united opposition, though they still don't have a candidate as yet, and they may not have at the end of the day, then we will be serving no purpose. So we are negotiating, firstly, on the point of strength, that ODM today controls a sizable chunk of representation, both at the ward levels and in the National Assembly, together with the Senate, which is Parliament. So that is the basis upon which we are going to negotiate. But nothing really stops ODM from asking, in the line of that negotiation, for a deputy president candidate if President William Ruto is guaranteed a re-election.
So has that been agreed upon the way Manzo is saying? Because Manzo says that in politics, this is a deal that has already been struck.
We are yet to even form a team that is going to start the negotiation processes. Remember, we have two principals here. We have President Ruto and we have Dr. Oburu Odinga, my party leader. They are going to bring the teams that are going to negotiate, but they are going to act as a buffer, that in case these teams do not agree on one item or another, then the issues will be referred to the principals to shed more light or to now take control of that particular subject. So it will not just be around, sharing power. It will be also unifying the manifestos of these two political outfits for the betterment of the Kenyans that we serve. Okay. It is not just making Manzo to be a minister in charge of environment. Yet you have a manifesto that will not guarantee his perfect execution of that mandate. So it will begin from unifying the manifestos that we are going to sell to the Kenyan people. Remember, President Ruto sold the wheelbarrow mantra to the public. Of course, from our standpoint, we didn't think that was a very important or a strong agenda to sell to the people. But that is what the people went with, a wheelbarrow, though I no longer hear it much. So we must, firstly, come up with messaging, a manifesto, and a formula that will guarantee a second win for President William Ruto. Having done so, we have those positions now that will be cascaded downwards, including what I've heard people say, that we are going to stratify or demarcate our boundaries.
The zoning. The
zoning, that if Manzo, for example, is very active in Wiper, then we don't necessarily have to bring a candidate under the same political arrangement. So these are issues that will be discussed. Yeah. For us as ODM, we really want the presidency to come to ODM. If President William Ruto will accept, then we will present our own candidate with his support, and we will guarantee a win. If William Ruto, and from, I know you will be asking this, about the by-elections that we have held.
Yeah, we'll come to that after that.
Yeah, since last year, up to date, the sweep of UDA, including in the Mount Kenya, the sweep that ODM has had in the current by-elections is a testament that if you combine these two forces, they are going to win at 3 a.m.
Yes.
And Ruto will be announced at 3 a.m.
Polling stations will not even go at that time.
Unless the election is stolen.
I have to take a quick break, gentlemen. Then we'll come back. Honorable Duncan Madenge, Member of Parliament for Nyeri Town, will be joining us as well right after this break.